All right, and we are live. This is Taco Boomsday, the Angriest Chicken Open, the last taco of the current rotation, and got a new expansion coming up soon. So this is the last time you'll see some of these cards, and this will be or some of these decks, I should say. These cards will all be sticking around for one more expansion. The last time you'll probably see some of these decks. And some people have complained about the Boomsday meta, but in a tournament setting, I think it has been one of the most fantastic metas we've ever had. My name is Willie Dills, representing Garrett and Jocelyn of the Angry Chicken. We've got our top four set from a fantastic field that we had today. Everybody, by the way, before we start this top four, everybody was fantastic to deal with today. I don't think I had a single match dispute. Very few questions getting the whole tournament up and running, which usually the first round has a lot of issues. Apparently we've been doing this long enough now. Everybody's kind of getting into the groove. So thank you guys for making this a very pleasant and easy experience for me today, as easy as it could be. And I'm ready to go ahead and cast this top four. Let me go ahead and give you guys the names of our top four players. The feature match that we'll be playing first in the top four is Gertab versus Bigwig. And in the other top four match, we've got Clinch and Liga. So we've got some familiar names if you've followed the taco before. Some of these players have made deep runs in the past, so it should be exciting. Once again, though, Gertab and Bigwig will be the first match that we stream. Let me go ahead and take a look at their decks and bans. Looks like Gertab has Warlock, Shaman, and Hunter. His Paladin has been banned. Bigwig will be bringing Paladin, Warlock, and Shaman, and his Rogue has been banned. So I'm going to go ahead and let the players know that we are ready to rock and get these matches underway. I'm excited to talk about some of these Boomsday decks because, you know, even though and I get it, we've talked on the show. If you listen to the Angry Chicken, we've talked on the show about how the meta has felt stale at times, and you know, there's been some ladder issues, but when you have a tournament setting where you bring four decks and you get to ban one, it changes the dynamic quite a bit. And I think right now this meta has been one of the funnest to play because I think a lot of the matchups are really skill testing. There is a definite ability to have a lot of counter play against your opponent based on, you know, the deck that you believe they're going to be bringing next. I'm gonna go ahead and start jumping into this game right now. We will have Bigwig on the bottom and Gertab on the top. Once this all actually works, hold on. Oh god. Oh god. Spectate mode. Spectate mode, work with me. Okay, there we go. Okay. Let's slow everything down on my computer. Hopefully there's not too many hiccups. Hopefully there's not too many hiccups there. All right, here we go. Jumping in. Game number one. Looks like I'm still not spectating Gertab, so let's see if we can fix that. Oh, it tried. There it is. Okay. So we got Hunter for Gertab versus Bigwig's Odd Paladin. Generally, this is a matchup that I believe favors Odd Paladin, but you can see that Gertab has a couple of the important cards. And actually, he's got pretty much all the important cards. Gertab is the Candle Shot to start off with, which helps clean up some of the early 1/1s. The Mossy Horror is there, which is a massive card for being able to clean up big wide boards that inevitably are going to happen with an Odd Paladin. Also does have the early Devilsaur Egg. No egg activators as of yet. But here's another important card, the Gluttonous Ooze. Because at some point, you're going to face a 7-cost weapon that keeps pumping out 1/1s, and you're going to have to kill that thing. So it's a pretty important card there for Gertab to have. Now, interesting spot here. Do you coin out the egg in hopes that you find an activator? Do you hold on to that coin because you can go egg on 3, cube on 4? And he does decide to hold on to the coin. I like that play. Bigwig going to utilize that hero power every single turn. Continue to apply the pressure. One thing that you see in Death Rattle Hunter these days, though, is the addition of, and I'm going to pull up the list here in a second, but we're starting to see now Death Rattle Hunters are putting in Unleash the Hounds and and Sea Giants. Doesn't look like that is in Gertab's list, however. So Gertab running a more traditional list, although does have a mind control tech, does have an ooze. These are open. This is an open list tournament, so the players do all know what's in the opponent's decks. Also running the single charged Devilsaur, and the Katharina King Crush, the single Mossy Horror. The Deathstalker Rexar is also another really important card to be able to deal with some of these boards. And already down to 16 health, excuse me, with the raid leader hitting the board. So Gertab feeling the pressure. Maybe a little bit concerned about going for the coin play because that will slow down a coin Mossy Horror. Unfortunately, I'm not seeing a much better option outside of just a Candle Shot plus a Spider Bomb here. The Candle Shot will reduce the damage on board by 2. I think he's going to have to go with the tracking, though, just to find something to deal with this. So Witchwood Grizzly, not enough mana to cast that. Could go with a Hunter's Mark here just to get the raid leader off the board. I think that might be the pick. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Hunter's Mark Candle Shot play here. And then try to follow that up with Mossy Horror and just try to stabilize. But this is one thing that can happen to the Death Rattle Hunter deck against these odd paladins, is they can just go ham on you real early. They just get that big wide board and things just get out of hand real quick. So Gertab trying his best. Once he does find that stabilization, though, oftentimes they can turn the tide pretty quickly. Fungalmancer on 5 with minions on board, though, and I think we're going to see a lot more face damage coming in. This represents 11 damage, and that means that Gertab is down to 5. Mossy Horror suddenly does not look very good. And I think that might just do it. I'm not seeing a way out here. The Mossy Horror, in fact, only kills 3 minions. And there you go. Bigwig with a quick game 1. Taking a 1-0 lead here. Alright, so we are playing Conquest, so that means that the Odd Paladin is now off the table. It has gotten its win. It can no longer be used. Which means that Bigwig is left with even Warlock and even Shaman. So 2 Gen Greymane decks remaining for Bigwig here. Gertab has access to all 3 decks, so looks like we've got a Zoo Warlock, another even Shaman, and of course the Death Rattle Hunter that we just saw. Very strong decks here for Gertab, and really it's just going to come down to finding one of these decks that can kind of stem the tide of the aggressive nature of the Shaman, and a deck that can deal with the large minions of the even Warlock. I think he definitely has the decks to be able to pull it off, though. Gertab going to swap out to the even Shaman. And Bigwig is now on the even Warlock. Once again, if you're just joining us, my name is Willie Dills. This is the Angriest Chicken Open Taco Boomsday. We are in our top 4. Bigwig versus Gertab is our feature match. In the other match, we have Clinch and Liga facing off. I will check into their score after this game, and we'll see where they are. Bigwig does have the Mountain Giant in the opening hand, which is pretty important. Also has the Twilight Drake, so 2 gigantic minions right off the bat here. I'm going to check and see in the even Shaman deck. Let's see. So we're going with the Corpse Taker, the Fire Plume Phoenix. There is the double Hex. The Hexes are going to be pretty important, I think, in this matchup. And then you've actually got quite a bit of late game in this even Shaman deck with Lich King, Kalamos, Hagatha, and Alakir. Obviously, Alakir you want in every single Corpse Taker variant of this deck. And wow, instead of holding off and tapping to try to get that early Mountain Giant down, just going to go ahead and drop the Vulgar Homunculus. We'll still have the ability to tap on the next turn, but then we'll probably just be dropping a Twilight Drake on turn 4, and then Mountain Giant will come down on one of the later turns here. Gertab going to go ahead and just go with the most minion pressure possible. Try to set up for a nice Flame Tongue Totem at some point. Bigwig likely going to tap here. Hellfire Pickup is pretty nice. Be able to deal with a lot of even Shaman boards. And Skulking Geist, a real bad card in this matchup, but good card in a tournament setting, as there are lots of, you know, if you think about the likelihood of Death Rattle Hunter and the play deads and the Hunter's Marks, Skulking Geist, very nice card. All right, we see an Earthen Might pick up here. This does look like a fairly decent Flame Tongue. Maybe you even go Flame Tongue plus Merc Spark. You can also just go with a Direwolf Alpha here. We'll see what Gertab goes with. Gertab has to be aware that a Hellfire is possible next turn, so maybe doesn't want to overload the board too strong. I like the ability of just hero powering and maybe playing the Direwolf or the Flame Tongue. Looks like that is going to be the play. 3-1 plus the 1-1 will clean this up, get a little bit of face damage in, be able to hero power on the back of it. And this is a board you don't mind getting Hellfired. In fact, this is a board that Bigwig might think twice about Hellfiring. Might just go with dropping that Twilight Drake. However, you do want to probably clear out that Flame Tongue Totem as soon as possible. Yep, just going to drop that Twilight Drake. It's a fairly large one at a 4-8, so difficult to deal with. There is a Hex. I don't think you can reliably use this Hex on a 4-8 knowing that 8-8s are also in the deck. Let's see, 3 plus 2 plus 2 would be 7, but also has the 2 from the Mercspark Eel if he wants, and also has the Direwolf Alpha. Let me go with the Direwolf Alpha here. And an Earthen Might as well. Looks like all this damage is being pushed to the face, though. I like this play. Trying to seal the deal before the big minions come out. And this means Bigwig is basically going to be forced to go ahead and use this Hellfire. However, a Defile is picked up, and a Defile looks pretty solid here as well. In fact, Defile is exactly the same as Hellfire. It does 3 dust damage to your own face. But it will deal 3 damage to the board. However, just going to go ahead and use the Hellfire here. There's no Spellstone in hand, though, so I think that would lend itself to the Defile first, because also you can Defile, tap, and play a Sunfury Protector this turn. So I kind of like the Defile play here. Once you pick up your Spellstones, then you want to use your Hellfires. I'm going to go with the Life Tap first. Might as well. You have the extra mana for it. And just, yeah, is going to use that Hellfire, going down to 8 health right now. Gertab finds that incredible. And there is a Corpse Taker. That is a nice pickup because it takes a couple of hits before it goes down. Looks like we're going to see a Corpse Taker and hero power here. Plus, if this doesn't get dealt with, there is the Earthen Might follow-up play. Although I don't think that this Corpse Taker is going to live. There is the Dread Infernal. We also have the option of the Defile here. I'm going to go with the Shroom Brewer, though, instead. The Shroom Brewer plus the Sunfury Protector. Now, let's see here. If you Earthen Might, you can clear off both of these taunt minions. There's no other reliable way to clear them both off. You could also Earthen Might, coin out a Sea Giant, clear off both taunt minions, and apply that pressure of the 8-8 to the board. So I like that play here. Yeah, he's going to go for that. See the Sea Giant hit the board, coin out that Earthen Might. Different sequencing, same play, but there you go. All the taunt minions have now been moved out of the way. There is going to be a fresh taunt minion, though, pretty soon in that Hooked Reaver. However, the Hex plus the Mercspark Eel will clear that up. I think this actually might be... This might be checkmate here. Trying to figure out a way. You have to play the Hooked Reaver. Definitely die without the Hooked Reaver. Alright. And yeah, it's gonna be GG, as the Hex plus a Mercspark Eel is gonna deal with this. And Gertab will be able to punch that 8 damage straight through to the face. So that's gonna even the series at 1-1. Gertab with a nice recovery there to get the series back even. And that means the even Shaman is now out of the way. And we're going into game 3 all tied up at 1 game apiece. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at other match going on right now. Looks like Liga and Clinch are also tied at 1 game apiece. Let's see. Clinch got a win with his Rogue in the first game, and Liga was able to pick up a win with the Hunter deck in game number 2. So they are also going into game 3 all tied up. Going to move back into the Gertab and Big Wig matchup here, and let's see what they pick for game number 3. That means that, excuse me, Gertab has the Hunter and the Warlock remaining. The Hunter is a Death Rattle, the Warlock is a Zoo. And Big Wig still has the Warlock and his own Even Shaman. We'll see what these players pick going into game number 3. By the way, my name is Willie Does again. This is the Angriest Chicken Open Boomsday, representing the Angry Chicken podcast about Hearthstone. I'm going to cheers you guys with a little bit of whiskey here, because we got a hard job of solo casting this bad boy. But we're doing our best here, and we're hoping you guys are having a great time. It's been a long day, doing all the admin and stuff, and now doing the casting. But it's a lot of fun for us. A lot of fun for us to do this. Great chance for the community to come out and play with each other. Also, we give away packs to the top 4, as well as 2 random players who did not make the top 4. Also get a chance to win some packs just for participating. So if you did not play today and you want to play in the next one, just know even if you don't think you have a chance at winning, you can always still win some packs. And with an expansion coming up, I know everybody wants them free packs. Yeah, shout out to Diego Centric, who's in chat right now, who was not able to play the tournament today due to some modem issues. Sorry about that, buddy. Hopefully next time you'll be able to get out. So looking at the decks, we've got the Heal Zoo for Gertab and the Even Shaman. This is a board control matchup. It's all about who gets the board, who keeps the board. Both players have lots of tools to build big boards quickly. Big Wig certainly in the Even Shaman has more ability to answer boards than the Zoo. The Zoo deck generally needs to have a board to do any effective answering. However, we're going to see the ability to build a pretty big one pretty quickly here. I think if you're Gertab, you're looking for you're looking to try to dump this Happy Ghoul out of your hand. That way you can play Soul Infusion onto the Serenite Chain Gang. You may be considering that, maybe thinking about just dropping Coin Fungalmancer, double Happy Ghoul here. I would actually like to see that play. That's double 3/3s. Looks like we have a disconnect here from one of the players, which is unfortunate. Luckily, we now have this fancy schmancy reconnect feature in Hearthstone. So hopefully the match will continue shortly. I'm going to go ahead and ask in the Discord if somebody did DC. Hopefully it wasn't me who DC'd. I don't think so, though. Everything else looks to be working. And while we wait, we get to hear Mecha Jiraxis make random emotes. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like Gertab has gone offline, so I think Gertab is the one who DC'd. Alright. Computing. Okay, I'm getting word from the players. Yep, looks like Gertab has DC'd. I see him now chatting in chatting in the Discord though. Computing. Apparently, a wife tripped a breaker by ironing. All right. I mean, I guess the good news is you have a life partner who does ironing for you, which is fantastic. Bad news, poor timing. Don't you know? I'm in a Hearthstone tournament right now, and it's a big deal. All right, well, Gertab should be back any moment.
Must destroy.
While we wait on that reconnect, let's go ahead and check in on the other match here and see what's going on. Looks like Clinch and Liga are still tied at 1-1. Just want to also say thank you again to everybody who played today. I know that it was short notice after BlizzCon and me coming back from Las Vegas for the Mediocre Golf Association World Championships that we didn't have a lot of time for signups and everything, so I appreciate everybody who did come and play today. And hopefully for the next one, we'll have a lot more lead-in and a lot less stuff going on the weeks leading up to it. Excited for the new expansion, though. Gonna be a fun one. Gonna be a really, really fun one. All the new cards that I've been seeing are super cool. And I've heard tell that Ixar, Dean Ayala, has said that this is one of his favorite sets that he's ever had a chance to work on. This is also, I believe, the first set that Chalky, former pro player Chalky, who now works on the balance team for Hearthstone, this is, I think, the first set that he's actually gotten his hands on when it comes to the balance design. So that's kind of exciting. He's a guy who I've always respected his opinion when it comes to Hearthstone and memes, and now he's actually working on Team 5, and that's real cool. So I expect we'll see some cool stuff out of this set.
Computing.
Rastakhan's Brawl. Alright. Hopefully he's getting back in here pretty soon. Still don't see him in the actual friends list just yet. He said he had to like reboot the whole thing though, so it's good to know that this reconnect feature will actually wait for you though. Or like, 4 minutes in and it's still chilling waiting. Oh, and I believe he is back. I see him in there. Yep, alright. Gertab back in there. Alright. Let's get it on. Alright, so let's see if he goes for the play that I was talking about, which is the massive amounts of 3/3s, set up the ability to make your Serenite chain gangs real big and large. And that is the play. Looking at the answers for Bigwig here, Flametongue Totem doesn't feel so hot. I think he's going to have to go for the Totem plus maybe a Mercspark Eel and a trade. And just hope for the best. Hope to soften up this board a little bit for a Serenite chain gang. Yeah, because Flametongue literally clears only one of these, and then you just lose your Flametongue for free. So Mercspark feels like it has to be the play. This is a tough spot, though. This is the power of the Heal Zoo. I mean, you just suddenly spike three 3/3s on turn 2. Pretty gnarly. Looks like we got people in chat grabbing whiskeys. I appreciate that I could be a bad influence on all of you. Welcome to the taco. This is how we do around here. We like to have a little fun while we play our Hearthstone. Bigwig's still going through the motions here, trying to figure out exactly what is the best option here, and does eventually decide on the Flametongue. So trying to set up for, I believe, a Serenite Chain Gang on the next turn, because we will see this Flametongue die here. Yeah, unfortunately for Gertab, this turn is a little awkward. You definitely don't want to Soulfire with these particular cards in your hand because they all work pretty well together. I think we're just going to see a Light Warden and a Soul Infusion. And then a couple of trades here. And that is exactly what we see, and I'm assuming the Serenite Chain Gang will now hit the board. Could also go for a Merc Spark, but if you Merc Spark here, you don't utilize all of your mana. So I definitely like the Serenite a lot better. So a pretty powerful turn here. Double Yeti on turn 4 with Taunt. Could wait a turn and Soul Infusion again, but I think 2 4/5s for 4 mana is solid enough. So looks like we are going to see that. Continues to push that board advantage. And now a very solid board. We do see Bigwig will eventually be curving into this Lich King, which is going to be nice. But for right now, sitting in a little bit of an awkward spot. I think we're going to have to see a Juggler, an Eel, and a Totem here. And he's going to have to hope that... Oh, I don't like the Totem first because you want to use the Merc Spark on this Light Warden. And then let the Dagger hit. So, yeah, if the Dagger had hit the Light Warden, that would have been real bad there. So that sequencing was a little bit off, but not too big of a deal. Didn't actually end up hurting him at all either. Unfortunately for Bigwig, did have one of those daggers go face. Not where you want the daggers to go. Kobold Librarian coming down. See if we can pick up another solid minion to use the Soul Infusion on. Does not, but does find a Life Drinker, a 4-drop, so we can go ahead and play that out right now. And we're definitely going to see this Knife Juggalo die. Juggalo's got to go. And I actually like Double Trade here. Okay, just goes ahead and goes face. The reason I like Double Trade here is because of the possibility of second Flame Tongue or Direwolf Alpha. But Fire Elemental's going to come down. So, doesn't really matter where you send this Fire Elemental damage. You're going to be left with one of these Serenites. But I think you have to go for the 6/5 here. Could just hold back on these attacks. And I think you do, yeah. And there is another good minion to use the Soul Infusion on. So, yeah, Gurtab, I like... maybe go ahead and go for the Soul Infusion, then the Imp, and then go ahead and use that Soulfire with no discard. It's going to go for the tap instead. Hold back on that Soulfire. I don't disagree with that either. I mean, right now, the board lead is so massive that I think you can just go for aggression here and save that Soulfire for maybe a little bit of burst to the face. Might see the Earthen Might played onto the Fire Elemental just for the ability to draw a little bit of extra card advantage, but I think right now you probably just want to use it on the Merc Spark Eel. Just try to clean up as much as possible. Yeah, you can use the Earthen Might on the Merc Spark. They'll clear up 2 4/4s and play out the entirety of your hand. We'll also be able to get rid of this 2/1. So leaving behind 7 damage on board, plus the 4 out of hand. So Gurtab will be a little bit short, and suddenly the board is now in the favor of Bigwig. But I think, you know, there's a few draws here that can help out quite a bit. I think I'd like to see play out your minions before the life tap. Because you might just want to utilize the Soulfire here on either the Direwolf or the Primal Fin Totem. I think at this point, you're not necessarily looking... Well, okay, he's missing 2 damage from lethal, right? 7 plus 4 is 11. He taps into, say, a Direwolf. Is there Direwolves in this deck? Let's find out. No Direwolves in the deck, so the only card he could tap into would be a Doomguard, which still wouldn't actually be quite enough. Fungalmancer. Oh, played that before tapping and then got the Fungalmancer. That would have actually gotten him real close. So a little bit of a sequencing error there. If you're going to play one of those, yeah, you probably just want to play both. And it looks like we are going to just see trades here. Going to try to figure out a way to just get this last bit of damage in. Here comes the Lich King. Yeah, the if the Fungalmancer had been able to land that turn, actually the Soulfire would have just been lethal. And instead, we're gonna see now a bit of a problem. And a Death and Decay is the discovery for Bigwig. That is massive. And there's the Doomguard. Oh my! This went a little south, didn't it? Oh my goodness! For Gurtab, this has to feel bad. You take the 50-50 here.
Executing.
You cannot leave a Lich King on the board. Okay, I'm gonna go for this. I think you'd have to tap before you play this Soulfire, because you don't want to lose that Doomguard. Okay, you're gonna lose one Doomguard, but you'll have another. That being said, Death and Decay on the board. I'm gonna start with the Nimbus here and try to find some sort of elemental that will be helpful. Stone Sentinel is pretty helpful. That is an elemental you just played there, so that means next turn, a couple more taunt minions are gonna come down. And suddenly Gertab, looking like there was no possible way to lose this game, is now facing down quite a bit of pressure on the backswing. I think you're gonna have to send this 5/7 face. I think everything's gonna go face. Yeah, everything's going face. Gonna hope and pray. Oh wow. Okay, so 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. 15 damage here for Bigwig. So I think what you do is you hold back on that and you Stone Sentinel first with a Death and Decay. Yeah, because Death and Decay, double trade, you get 6 damage to the face, and you get 4/4 plus double 2/3s on board. And looks like Bigwig has flipped this game completely. Got to look at that one turn where played out a 1-drop before the tap, and then tapped right into the Fungalmancer. Would have had a 2-turn lethal there. And unfortunately, it looks like Gertab might be paying the penalty for that. These are the kind of things, though, they're hard to see in the moment, and that's going to do it. Game number 3 goes over to Bigwig. Able to take that even Shaman and turn that game around, so taking a 2-1 advantage going into game number 4 now. So that means there's only one deck remaining for Bigwig, and it is the Even Warlock. And I think if you are Gertab, you're feeling fairly decent about both of your matchups. The Zoo can be a little bit tough against the Even Warlock. I really like playing the Death Rattle Hunter first. I think it has the strongest matchup against the Even Warlock. You can apply a lot of pressure quickly and create boards that are hard to deal with. It also has Hunter's Marks. Lots of ways to deal with 8/8s. That obviously the Zoo Warlock does not. The Zoo Warlock has to deal with them just purely through minion trading. But Candle Shot plus Hunter's Mark, Spider Bomb plus Play Dead, all sorts of different ways to be able to deal with those. And we will see what Gertab goes for there. Looking at the Even Warlock deck, we did see the Skulking Geist in the game that we saw the Even Warlock played in for Bigwig, so that'll be a pretty important card here. If you can get rid of those Hunter's Marks and those Play Dead, and the trackings, that's a pretty big deal. Looks like Gertab had switched to his phone to play the rest of that game, so he's trying to switch back to his PC right now. So we're gonna have a small break in the action. And we will see. They may have to re-challenge each other. Oh, looks like we're good to go. We're heading back into game number 4 here. Alright, so Gertab does stick with the Zoo Warlock against Bigwig's Even Warlock. Looking to get another big opener here. Try to take advantage of Even Warlock's inability to fight back without AoE board clears and with only big minions. But looks like a Defile there for Bigwig, which is a pretty important card here, and I think probably is going to see a keep. In fact, I like keeping probably everything but the Sun Fury Protector if you're Bigwig. Goes ahead and keeps the entire hand. Gertab throws back one card and finds a Happy Ghoul. Pretty solid opener here for Gertab. Going to be able to Flame Imp on turn number 1. Then follow up with Voodoo Doctor plus 3/3. We could go Voodoo Doctor 3/3 and Soulfire on turn 2. Empty the hand completely. Just say go. But no, that's likely not what's going to happen. In fact, I think we might just see a tap here. But no, is going to go ahead and put on the maximum pressure before Hellfire is ever a thing. The problem here, this plays perfectly into a Defile. And I believe that's what we're going to see here on turn number 2. That's 8 power wiped off the board with 1 card. Pretty strong.
Truth is found in death.
Alright, does find the Kelliset though. That's a pretty big deal. That's a lot of turns of buff minions here. Come to Serenite Chain Gang. We'll go ahead and make this trade. I like the trade because if a Hellfire were to come down, you're going to lose that 2/2 anyway. Don't want the 2/4 to live as a 2/1 there. So options here. I like the Mountain Giant. I like the Twilight Drake. You can go with the Twilight Drake and then you can coin, or sorry, you can well, you can actually tap right now. Tap Mountain Giant. I think that's actually the play. Yeah, just go ahead and tap first. It's a 1-mana tap, so it's free. You still get to play your Mountain Giant. One of the interesting things about even Warlock is that tap only costs 1, so you actually get to do it and still play the Mountain Giant. Forgoes that, though. I think we're going to see a tap here from Gertab. Soul Infusion doesn't have great options to Soul Infusion. A couple of 4/4s though are nice. These to continue applying pressure to the board. And there is a Hellfire pickup. But yeah, I like just throwing this Twilight Drake down. Gonna coin out the Sunfear Protector and put all these minions in the way.
Job's done.
It's only Gertab staring down quite a lot of health. And all of it has taunt. Tough spot here because if you Soul Infusion a Fungal Enchanter, and then you Soulfire away that Fungal Enchanter, and essentially you've paid 2 cards for the Soulfire. So I don't think you can rightfully go for that. I'd like to just see the Soulfire on the 8/6 now. There you go. And now you can do the Soul Infusion plus the Life Drinker, and just play a 6/6 Life Drinker. I think that's pretty solid here. He has to decide whether it's worth to go ahead and make this attack. I believe it is, because again, the Hellfire. Okay, so now a Hellfire is a little bit awkward because you can't just throw the 2/3 into the 6/6. And Hellfire, it's going to leave him 1 short. I think we're probably just going to see a Dread Infernal or again and just push face damage, I think.
This curse has become
And he still has this taunt minion up. Is going to double trade though. Interesting. I mean, double trade plays around Doomfire or Doomguard top decks, but you know, I think at this point you could just start pushing face. Doomguard top deck is still a thing. I'd like to see the tap before the Flame Imp hits the board. There it is. Okay, well, the same exact situation as last time. He taps on turn 7. He finds Fungalmancer. There's a Blood Reaver Gul'dan. That'll bring back so far. Let's see. Just the Homunculus, I believe. Dread Infernal hasn't hit the board yet.
Your magic shall not save you.
Alright, that's a lot of beef. Okay, so you're probably just gonna have to play both these minions out. I think at this point, if you're Gertab, you're just hoping and praying that at some point one of your boards will stick, and one of your top decks is a Doomguard, a 6/8 Doomguard at that. But he is running out of time now as a Lich King is about to hit the board. And suddenly Bigwig starting to turn the screws here a little bit. That Lich King is massive, and another Death and Decay with the best possible card you can pull. And there is the Doomguard, just a little bit late. 6/8 Doomguard doesn't do very much against an 8/8 Lich King. Wow. Really, really unfortunate here for Gertab. Just drew the cards a little out of order here. I think if you're Bigwig, you're not even super concerned about this 6/8. You can just push all this to the face. It looks like that is going to be the play. Now the 4/3 is definitely going face anyway, but yeah, I like the 8/8 also going face. I don't see any reason not to do this. And finds a Death Coil, so that's just lethal damage out of hand now. And it looks to me like Bigwig is going to be moving into our finals. I'm not seeing a lot of options here for Gertab. Gonna play this out, hope for the best. Found the Keleseth, but there it is. Bigwig gonna take this series 3-1. Congratulations to him. He does move on to the finals. However, gotta give it up for Gertab, who is still going to pick up the free packs for making the top 4. So fantastic job by both of these players. Go ahead and take a look and see what's going on in the other match. Looks like they are still going in their game number 5, so let's see if we can jump right into that one. Let's see, we'll have Clinch on the bottom. Clinch on the bottom and Liga on the top. For some reason I can't see Liga's hand. It's a little bit annoying.
What to do?
Can't tell if I'm actually correctly watching what's going on here. I'm gonna stop spectating because I can't see the top player's hand yet. So let's see if we can try that one more time. See if we can actually. Yeah, see if we can get in there. Maybe. Okay. Yeah, let's see if we can see Liga's hand here. It's not turning his hand over. There it is. Okay. Ah, looks like Liga is playing Breakfast Paladin, a deck that we recently featured on the Angry Chicken podcast. Wow, what a draw there for Clinch. Picks up a Hex. Really big time to grab a Hex, as that Mechano Egg is been buffed already. Gonna go ahead and start with the Earthenmite on his only elemental, which happens to be a Quartz elemental, which cannot attack unless he can find a healing totem to heal that back up. Clinch trying to go ahead and put this game away though, but I do see some pretty strong cards here to continue to hold back the momentum here for Liga. Considering the Blessing of Kings, but also does have double Spike Ridge Steed. I like the Steed first. Open with the Steed. Get the taunt in the way. Calamos, the Primal Lord, though, will potentially be able to help deal with this. There's a Direwolf Alpha as well. Oh, actually, the Calamos is not activated, so Yeah, kind of an interesting spot here. Direwolf plus Crystalline Oracle, though, will activate the Calamos for the next turn. Fortunately, I don't see a solid way through. Can at least start getting some attacks in. I'd like to see him hit the totem button before he makes a trade with the Wrath of Air, because he needs a healing totem. There is the healing totem, so in 2 turns, that Quartz Elemental will be able to attack again. Alright, almost got his way through step 1 of that Spiked Ridge Steed. Spiked Ridge Steed, good card. 412 worth of stats for 6 mana. Alright, so Quartz Elemental needs 1 more tick of that healing totem before it can attack again. Here comes a Consecration, though. That's going to ruin those plans. And it looks to me like Liga has potentially stabilized and turned the corner here. I'm going to go ahead and take a look at the actual deck lists here. So, yeah, so Clinch's Even Shaman. Essentially the same version that we were just watching. And yeah, it looks like a pure... Well, actually not the Breakfast Pallet, because he's not running... Liga is not running the Meat Wagon. And instead has an Annoyo module in there. So it's got the Kangor's Endless Army, it's got the Mechano Eggs. So just basically a Death Rattle Paladin without the Meat Wagon. The Meat Wagon is a little bit of a meme card, truth be told. So yeah, I don't mind this. Let's see, there's 12 damage on board plus 5 damage from the Uther's Blade, so 17 possible damage here. Could also just go for Blessing of Kings plus Spiked Ridge Steed would add 6 damage to the board. But yeah, I like to go ahead and get the weapon equipped. I don't even think you need to make these trades here, but looks like Liga is going to just play it safe. Just clear off as much of the board as possible. There is a Harrison Jones, though. Created by that Crystalline Oracle. It's going to wipe that weapon away and draw 2 cards. And there's Hagatha, and Hagatha is definitely one of the cards that could potentially bring Clinch back into this game. A whole bunch of random shaman spells. Usually a pretty good thing. I'd like to see the trading stop here. At 7/7 is not hitting face anytime soon. Don't want to see any more trades from Liga. Oh no. Oh no. Alright, gonna go for a cube on a 2/2, and gonna play the Acolyte of Pain. Okay. This line of play is okay, but I think Liga right now potentially could be over trading just a little bit. Probably Hagatha time, but might go for Alakir first or a Lich King. Actually, Lich King feels pretty solid in this spot. The only thing you worry about with Lich King is somehow if Liga finds some way to make that Acolyte of Pain real big and draw lots and lots of cards. Anti-Magic Shell, great pickup here. And there is the way to make that Acolyte draw lots and lots of cards. Could go with Pyro plus Spiked Ridge just to draw the extra card, and then also make a 2/2 afterwards. Gonna go with the Spiked Ridge and then the Blessing. Okay. Fortunately, this means that he's over trading into this. Yeah. Would have liked to see the Blessing on the 4/6 instead there, because that would have made the single trade to kill the Lich King. Instead, he spent 11 damage to kill an 8 health minion. You don't want to be inefficient in that way when playing Hearthstone. It's nice to always put the exact amount of damage into the exact amount of health.
Winter is here.
Alright, gets a little bit more draw out of it. Stegodon will come down. Here's another Mechano Egg, but I'm feeling like he's running out of ways to... I feel like he's running out of ways to activate these eggs. We haven't seen the entire game, so we're not 100% sure exactly what's left in both of these players' decks. Serenite Chain Gang, does that turn off the taunt on the Corpse Taker? Because now Alakir, Lich King, and Serenite have been picked up. There could be another Serenite though, so this Corpse Taker may still have taunt. I don't think it has Divine Shield anymore though. So a little bit of a tricky spot. I think the Alakir makes a lot of sense. There's arguments for Alakir and Hagatha here. This Quartz Elemental has just been sitting here doing nothing for a whole long time. Alright, so... let's see. How much does this need to heal? It needs to get up to 12. So actually, Quartz Elemental activated next turn. Oh, there's the Spirit Singer Umbra. Ooh. Here's the problem. That Elemental gets to swing now. Let's see if Liga notices. Liga needs to notice this. Okay, I would have liked that to happen the other direction though. I think rather than take 9 damage to your face, could have used the weapon on the Alakir and traded the Harrison Jones into the Quartz Elemental. There's a Hex pickup. Another fantastic pickup for Clinch. Interesting spot here. Lots and lots of different plays you could make here. You could go for the Hex on the 8/8. Double trade into the 3/4. The 1/1 into the 5/1, and then maybe go for a Serenite or a Corpse Taker. I think I like that play. You definitely don't want to let the Spirit Singer Umbra stick around. And wow, we might have seen the wow, gonna go for the Hex on the 0/5 instead. Scared of the second 8/8. Kangor's Endless Army pickup. I have no idea what this is bringing back, but I'm sure it's good. I'm sure it's good. Gonna go for the Pyromancer first. Gonna skip the Kangor. Okay, maybe gonna wait for this 8/8 to die. I mean, I haven't seen this whole game, so I'm not sure what's coming out of this thing yet. We joined this game halfway through. By the way, just joining us, this is the Angriest Chicken Open. Boomsday, top 4. We already have one of our top 4, one of our semi-finalist matchups done. We know who's in our finals. We're waiting to find out which one of these players will also join the finals. Will it be Clinch or will it be Liga? Alright, Fire Elemental gonna hit the board. I'd like to just see the Chain Gang come out here. Gonna go for the Totem instead though. Instead of going for maximum pressure. Maybe still trying to find well, he's still got the Healing Totem on board. I didn't even actually notice that. It's a little shrouded in the mist here. Alright, a Stonehill Defender coming out. A Ziliax. That seems real good when you've got a Kangor's Endless Army. You can also magnetize this to the 8/8. Not going to magnetize it though. Going to just go for double attacks here to be able to clear off the 6/5. At some point though, man, you got to start hitting that face. And there it is. The 8/8 smashes face. Tries to set up a lethal opportunity. We are close, ladies and gentlemen. There is a full clear here. Can run the 2/3 into the 1/4. Hagatha, and then clear off the 8/8 with the 6/5. It looks like we're just going to see double Serenite instead. Alright, double Serenite comes down. There's an equality, but there is no activator for the equality to get through. Oh, actually, no. It goes for the totem again. Getting maximum leverage out of this totem. Okay, there's why the Kangors wasn't played before. It literally was not even active. It was going to bring out nothing. So, waited to get a Ziliax into the pool. Again, there is a full clear here. Hagatha, could go Hagatha. Trade. and a Direwolf Alpha and get a random Shaman spell. I think it's time to turn on the Hagatha mode here. This might just be the last of Liga's pressure. The Uther's gone. He's got a 2/2 every turn, but if Clinch is able to find some good Shaman spells here, he'll be able to turn the pressure on. Holds back on the Direwolf Alpha. Interesting. Oh my god, and a Ziliax comes down. No good attacks here, though. The 9/7 is not a threat, so let the Ziliax chill. Alright, Knife Juggalo into Serenite, into Direwolf, and Avalanche. Means he can freeze the Ziliax, kill off this Deathlord. I like to see the Chain Gang hit the board first, though. See what else comes out. A lot of good minions that can come out here. A Zap. Well, there you go. That's better than Avalanche, isn't it? That goes ahead and just clears off that Ziliax. Yeah, might as well play the Alpha as well. And a Lightning Bolt. Board is clear if he wants it. I think you might as well at this point. Let's see. There might still be a Consecrate. There might still be several things for Liga, but Liga's got to be feeling this one slipping away just a little bit here. And now a Flame Tongue joins the party. Might see Clinch make the trade with the Acolyte first, just to deny some card draw here. I think I'd like to see that happen before any minions hit the board.
A path dimly lit.
We shall see. Clinch thinking through all of his options here. Both players running out of cards. 5 cards left in each player's decks at this point. I'm thinking there's still some big boys left here for Liga. I see there's a Lunessa Sunsorrow, a Sunkeeper Tarum. I think all the eggs are gone. Oh, actually, there might still be an egg because one of these eggs looks like it might have been gifted. I believe there's one more Consecrate as well. And there we go. Liga is all the way down to 4 health now, and a cube comes out, and I don't think that's going to be enough. It looks to me like Clinch has found a way to turn this game around. At one point, this game looked completely over. Clinch finds the victory and moves into the finals of Taco Boomsday. All right, so we have our final match set. Let's go ahead and jump in. Clinch versus Bigwig. This is going to be a very, very good finals, I believe. All right. I'm going to let these players know to go ahead and do their bans. 2 fantastic semifinal matches, though. All the players playing spectacularly, bringing really interesting decks, which is very cool. Decks that you're not likely to see in, say, a DreamHack or an HCT event. You're not going to see a lot of what were they calling it? Omelet Paladin. So I like it. Really, really cool stuff. Also, yeah, lots of Even Shaman, which is another deck you don't see a lot in like HCT lineups these days. But I do believe it's very strong. It's very strong on ladder for sure. And players decided that it's strong enough to bring to a tournament setting. And we've seen Even Shaman find lots of wins so far. Been a very strong deck in this tournament. At some point after the finals, I will go and look. There's some stats that are accumulated by Battlefy, so we can see which decks kind of came out on top. All right. See if these players have started to perform their bans. They still have not done them yet, so we'll give them a few more moments here. Once again, if you are just joining us, this is the Angriest Chicken Open, Taco Boomsday. My name is Willie Dills, representing the Angry Chicken Podcast for Garrett Weinzerl and Jocelyn Moffitt. This is our 3 times a year per expansion tournament that we do for patrons and listeners of the show. Top 4 is awarded with some free packs, and we also give out packs to 2 random participants just for coming and joining up and playing along. So even if you think that you don't have a chance to win this thing or make top 4, it's always worth your time to come out and play. I know everyone had a good time playing the tournament today. You know, you're gonna be able to play in a tournament setting that's a little bit lower on the stress levels. No one's gonna make fun of you for whatever decks you bring. No one's gonna get down on you for making mistakes. We're just all here to have a good time. So I encourage everybody, if you have not played in one of these before and you're interested, keep your eyes and ears open on the podcast and the patreon.com/angrychicken page to find out when the next one is going to be. Well, patreon.com/TAC. Excuse me. All right. Jumping in, looks like the bands have been performed. Let the players know that they can start their match. Clinch versus Bigwig. This is for the finals of the Angriest Chicken Open, Boomsday. Clinch, I believe we've seen get pretty deep before. I don't know if he's won. Bigwig, I believe, also has gotten fairly deep, but I don't think either of these players have won in the past, so good luck to them. Looks like the game is getting ready to start. We will have Clinch on the bottom if the spectate mode works. So Clinch has had his Paladin band, and Bigwig has had Warlock band, so no even Warlock for Bigwig. And looks like opening match is going to be Odd Paladin versus a Tempo Rogue deck, which is kind of interesting. Oh no, it's an Odd Rogue deck. Okay. I looked earlier in the lineups at some of the people's decks, just kind of browsing around, and I saw a few people brought a very interesting version of a Tempo Rogue, utilizing things like Hinge Clan Thug and stuff, but not utilizing the spiders. So that was kind of interesting to see. So we're gonna see lots and lots of aggressive action from the Odd Rogue and lots of board presence from the Odd Paladin. It's kind of an interesting matchup if you are the Odd Rogue, because your dagger is overkill on these 1/1s. But Fireflies and Dire Moles, they do pretty well against 1/1s. So I'd like to see the Dire Mole come out first. Dire Mole is a 1/3, so obviously it's just better than a 1/2. Also, it allows you to utilize Fireflies later on in the game to get multiple minions out on one single turn. Ariok in the chat asked, did this game get more complicated over the last year, or is it just me? Yes, the game continues to get more and more complicated as time goes on. If you go back to vanilla Hearthstone, lots of these decisions were a lot easier. It was a simpler time back then. So I kind of like playing double Firefly here. However, the Hinge Clan Thug means that you may just want to get the dagger up and running so that you can make a 4/4 on the next turn. Obviously, Fireflies are fantastic against the 1/1s that Bigwig is going to be popping out. But the pickup of the Hinge Clan Thug suddenly complicates this turn. So actually, I think the dagger is superior here, just because you want to get this up as soon as possible. And that is what Clinch goes for. Alright, going to Bigwig's turn 2. The coin hero power turn is actually really solid in the Odd Paladin deck, because it allows you to make 2 1/1s on turn 1 and 2 1/1s on turn 2. And the cost of all of that is 4 mana and a coin. It's like, instead of hitting the hero power button again, though, I was going to go for the Argent Squire plus the Angriest Veteran. This does make a 2/1 with a Divine Shield, so that means it's at least going to trade with a dagger and the rest of the Dire Mole. I'd like to see the Hinge Clan hit the board and just probably double trade into that Argent Squire. The reason why you don't want to just kill the Angriest Veteran is, well, you could kill the Angriest Veteran, and actually either way it kind of works out the same. But you don't want to leave up a Divine Shield minion and allow it to get Blessing of Mighted, and then have it kill something for free. So Flinch's going to go ahead and think this one out, though. There's also the possibility of just going for the double Firefly here. But yeah, I like the Hinge Clan Thug. Okay, so either way you do this, as long as you remove the Divine Shield, you end up with a 2-1 with no Divine Shield at the end of the turn. And that's the best you can do at this point. So Bigwig looks like he's going to pull out the Champion's Maul just so that he can clear off this Hinge Clan Thug before things get out of hand. Also does have the benefit of getting the Champion's Maul instead of, say, the one that gives Taunt, which is the worst one ever, and does produce a couple more Silverhand recruits on this turn as well. Looks like we're going to see a couple of Fireflies and a Hero Power, I'm guessing. But this is the problem for the odd rogue, is that you just start to fall behind because these 1/1s, they still eat up one dagger swing, even though the dagger has been buffed to a 2/2 weapon. You don't really get an advantage against the odd rogue because the math just doesn't work out in your favor. And you do have to keep clearing the 1/1s lest you end up facing down a giant board of 3/3 1/1s with taunt. Or you allow Fungalmancers to hit and hit hard. Stonehill Defender, he's going to hope to find a 1-drop taunt minion. He does not find one here. I'm guessing the Trog Gloom Eater, and he does take that. It's a 1/5 taunt, so... Alright, so Fungalmancer can hit one minion now, but that's not going to be good enough. There's a Hinge Clan Thug, though. That's a pretty nice pickup. We will be able to... we'll be able to clear the board here with Hinge Clan, Cold Blood, and the rest of this dagger swing on the 1/1. I like that. I think you need to get the board empty. You need to find a spot where your Fungalmancer is going to land, and theirs will not. So yeah, I would like to see the Hinge Clan plus the Cold Blood here. We'll see what Clinch ends up landing on, though. And he is opening with that Hinge Clan Thug. And he does see the Cold Blood play as well. Yeah, removing all the attacks from the board. Pretty important here. Unfortunately, going into 6 mana with a couple of Fungalmancers in hand means that next turn is going to be a little bit funky. But even just a single Fungalmancer, if 2 of these minions are still alive next turn, is going to be fantastic. And the only real way for Bigwig to remove either of these minions is if he finds another weapon. And the only one he could find is the 3-mana one, is a 7-mana. 7-mana Vine Cleaver is too expensive at this point. This is good news here for Clinch. It's a little bit of board development. And yeah, I'd like to see a Fungalmancer hit the board here. Although the Cobalt is not bad. The problem with the Cobalt Scalebane is he ends up losing this 5/1. If he goes with the Fungalmancer play, keeps all the minions alive. I'm hearing from the chat that Clinch has won a taco in the past. So looking to become a repeat winner. That would be quite the accolade here in the Angry Chicken community. I think 7 damage to the face sounds pretty tempting, and he does go for that. 6 mana, there's not a lot that you're super concerned about here. Obviously, a level up will allow 2 minions to go. Gonna go for the Gloom Eater, though.
The light protects me.
Which I think is going to be met with this Ironbeak Owl. Now I guess the question is, do these 1/1s make any trades, or do they hit face? And it looks like they're going to go ahead and hit face as well. The unfortunate thing about the Owl play is the Owl play does not then have a follow-up with any minions. The problem is if you don't use the Owl, then you're going to lose one of these minions. Could go Fungalmancer, though, onto the 6/5. Then the 4/4 plus the weapon can clear up the Trog. Yeah, I like this. This pushes maximum damage here. In fact, is this lethal? I think this is lethal. No, I think that's GG. I didn't even see that, but yeah, because of the fact that the Hinge Clan Thug gets the buff, That is enough, and Clinch takes game number 1. Let's fix these scores, by the way. Whoops. Oops, upside your head. Oops, upside your head. These scores are wrong. Let's fix those. Now it is 1-0. Clinch finds a win in game number 1. As we move into game number 2. Clinch finding an odd rogue victory over the Paladin. That's a pretty big victory there for Clinch because, like I said, the odd Paladin putting two 1/1s on board for the same price as a 2/2 dagger. And the dagger only cleans up half of those. So the rogue is gone, which leaves Clinch with a zoo deck, a zoo warlock deck, and an even shaman deck. And we see that Bigwig still has odd rogue, odd paladin, and even shaman. Baku and Gen all over the place in this tournament, as would be expected. Baku and Gen have had quite the impact on the metagame. And likely will continue to, as long as they're around. No matter what cards come out in every expansion, you're always going to be able to put together a deck that can utilize a buffed up hero power or a cheaper hero power. Alright, going into game number 2 here. Clinch has chosen to go with the Zoo Warlock deck. The Zoo Warlock deck featuring a Tar Creeper. That's interesting. I like that, though. Also got a single Spellbreaker. It's also running Despicable Dreadlords, which we did not see in the last Zoo deck we looked at. And Bigwig's going to stick with the odd Paladin here. And this is a very, very board-centric matchup. It's going to be about who can find the first big board swing that gets them to, say, a Fungalmancer. Or, in Bigwig's case, a level up that actually hits multiple 1/1s. Flame Imp for Clinch on turn number 1. Fantastic opener. Puts damage on the face, allowing for the heals to hit face, enabling Happy Ghouls. And Bigwig has an option here to drop 2 1-drops, and I like that play. 2 1-drops that go directly into the hero power, and then goes into a Purifier's Maul. Purifier's Maul is the best one you can get, giving all of your minions Divine Shield. Fortunately, no pickup here for Clinch on turn 2, so just going to have to life tap and trade into one of these Divine Shields. Feels bad, man. Clinch is really going to be leaning on finding those Despicable Dreadlords, I think, in this game. Here comes a couple 1/1s. And going to utilize that hero, or the Divine Shield here, knowing that next turn he'll be able to put Divine Shields on all of his minions. So Bigwig's smartly utilizing that Divine Shield before it doesn't matter anymore. Clinch with not a great spot here. Does have Serenite Chain Gang turn 4, potentially into Doomguard turn 5, but going to be facing down 4 minions with Divine Shield plus this 2/2 weapon. And yeah, I like this too, also utilizing the Argent Squire's Divine Shield rather than the Silverhand Recruits, which can get buffed with level up. There's another Serenite Chain Gang, so at least you will be able to Serenite into Serenite, saving that Doomguard for a time when it's a little bit more useful. But if you Clinch, you're definitely feeling on the back foot right now. Find a way to turn this around. You ask how long this can go on, and Bigwig says, I can push this button all day, my friend. So Bigwig now can kind of just pick and choose how he wants to go for this. There's a lot of options, Raid Leader being a pretty good one. Allow him to push through this entire board, also able to drop a Firefly as well. And yeah, it's a rough spot now for Clinch. Needs to top deck one of those Despicable Dreadlords, I think, to have a chance at this one. Here, I think we're going to have to see something like a Serenite plus a Soulfire on the Raid Leader. You know, remember when Raid Leader was just the worst card ever? Now you're Soulfiring that thing. Times have changed. Game is different than it used to be. And there it is. That is going to be the play here. Bigwig once again. All sorts of ways. There's the Sacred Maul, the worst of the mauls, but I think at this point, you're not too concerned about that. He's going to be able to get a free Corridor Creeper out this turn and continue to load the board. I think we will see this Maul hit, though, just because the 2/2 weapon is useful to punch through these Serenites. And then likely just hero power. Might as well utilize that. You get one every turn. If you don't use it, you lose it. Okay. This looks to me like a Doom Guard is about to happen. You probably just drop that Light Warden. Drop that Doom Guard. Kill that Corridor Creeper. Could also go for the Doom Guard first and hope that the second Doom Guard is not the discard. 33% of the time it's not. And if you do keep the second Doom Guard, that does give you quite an advantage. However, if you do, and you drop the Light Warden and the Doom Guard, and you just have the Life Drinker left, then you don't get to put the 1/2 on the board. However, the 1/2 doesn't do much against the 2/1 weapon, so I actually kind of like just taking the chance here. Just dropping that Doom Guard. There's arguments for both plays, I think, though. Just for efficiency's sake. Try to soak the swing out of that weapon. Potentially protect this Doom Guard. There is a Blessing of Might now, though. We'll see if Bigwig thinks that it's worth it to use that or to just start pushing face damage. I think I like just pushing face damage at this point, though. You can utilize the weapon to kill the 1/2. Oh, actually is going to make the trades, though. Concerned about things like Fungalmancers, and I can't blame him for that. Also, the reload is strong, and the Vine Cleaver is coming down on turn 7, so...
Reporting for duty.
You know, has the tools to continue to push pressure. And there is a Fungalmancer, which would have happened. However, it would not have been super dangerous against, you know, the 1/1 with Taunt would have meant that it still would have had to attack into that. So no matter how big you make that Doom Guard, it's still got to hit a 1/1 with Taunt. Tough spot now for Clinch here. You can drop a 2/2 or drop a 1/2. You probably want to drop the 1/2. Because the 2/2 has future implications as far as buffing your other minions. But yeah, if you're Clinch, you're feeling pretty out of this game. Especially when that Vine Cleaver hits. Again, like I said, I think the key card here was that Despicable Dreadlord, and he was never able to find it. Pretty simple Vine Cleaver here. I think what you do, though, is you send the Vine Cleaver damage to the face and you trade a couple of 1/1s into this 1/2. Or the 1/1 and the 1/2. Yep, that works as well. Either way, you just don't want to waste any board space here. You want to get the full potential of the Vine Cleaver recruits. And that sets up a lethal for next turn, and I don't see a way out of it. There is a tap for Despicable, and doesn't find it. And I think that's game number 2 going over to Bigwig, evening this series at 1 game apiece. Nice comeback there for Bigwig, was able to apply that pressure, that odd paladin pressure, continue to make solid trades.
But your world is still doomed.
Mega Jaraxxus does believe that his world is still doomed, but we shall find out going into game number 3 now. Paladin for Bigwig taking down the Warlock for Clinch. All right, game number 3. Let's see here. So the odd paladin is gone. Meaning for Bigwig, we've got odd rogue and even shaman. And for Clinch, we've got even shaman and the zoo warlock. So far, Zoo Warlock's been having a little bit of a rough go at it. I do believe, though, in the last match, we could have seen a victory for the Zoo Warlock if the Fungal Mancer had been able to connect. So it still does have, it has the powerful openers, the explosive openers, and can always find wins. Looks like the players have selected their decks for game number 3, and we are moving right into it. Bigwig going with the even shaman. Clinch sticking with the Zoo Warlock. Looking at the even shaman deck, let's see. Alakir, Hagatha, Kalamos, Lich King. There is pretty much the basic setup we've seen. There is an Argent Commander, though, to go along with double Scale Hide, really making sure that these Corpse Takers are going to get as many buffs as possible. I kind of like that build. That's nice. One of the problems that you have when you play this deck with the Corpse Takers is sometimes the Corpse Takers end up missing. And things don't work out so well for you. What an opener, though, for Clinch here. Flame him directly into a Prince Keleseth. And there's that Despicable Dreadlord. Teasing him now by showing up in the opening hand in the matchup where he doesn't need it quite so much. Not a lot of things with 1 health. Fairly slow start here for Bigwig. But once things get ramped up, a couple of Sea Giants, some Juggalo action, Serenite Chain Gang. Looks like he's just going to drop that Juggalo now, though. Try to get that up and running, and a second Dreadlord comes down. I think we're going to see a Snap Keleseth here. And I believe you also trade with the 2/2, as you do not want to start taking knives. You don't want to get hit in the face or the minions with knives. Clinch, though, going to go ahead and do the smart thing, which is think for a moment. Don't let your opponent know exactly what's in your hand. Give away as little information as possible. I like that a lot. Make him think that there was a possibility that there was a better play than Keleseth here. Something to consider. There's a Merkspark he'll pick up, and that's fantastic. That's going to be able to clear up the Keleseth and give Bigwig here the initiative. And no turn 3 play for Clinch. Pretty unfortunate here. He's going to have to go ahead and tap. Hope to find a 1-drop. A 1-drop does not materialize. However, minions are all bigger from here on out. But if you're Clinch, you're feeling pretty bad about missing your turn 3. Bigwig will not be missing turn 3, dropping a Primal Fin Totem and hitting the hero power button. That's 4 minions on the board there. A little bit sad for Clinch that the Serenite Chain Gang was in the opening hand when the Keleseth happened. This might actually be a Spellbreaker on the 0/3, as you don't want that to continue to pop out minions. Things can get out of hand pretty quick. However, you do have Despicable Dreadlord, though, so all those 1/1s that pop out can be dealt with on the next turn, so it's also possible that the Serenite Chain Gang is just the better play here. There's arguments for either one. I actually, thinking about it, because of the double Despicable, yeah, I like playing the Serenite here. Get 2 minions into play. This does, however, mean that a Sea Giant is about to happen right now. And Totem first as well, because of course those totems only cost 1. And there's a big boy. So Despicable will clean up a lot of 1/1s here. Well, a couple of 1/1s and a 2/1. But an 8/8. An 8/8 will still be smashing through next turn. I think you have to play this Despicable, though. I don't think you can let the board continue to snowball out of control, especially when there's Flame Tongues, Direwolf Alphas, all sorts of things. So it looks like we will see a Despicable. And that's going to drop the minion count down quite a bit. Which does mean that the second Sea Giant will not be able to hit the board this turn. Clinch doesn't know that, of course, but dodged the bullet there. Serenade Chain Gang, though, to protect this 8-5. And, wow. Yeah, staring down a little bit of trouble here again. This time, I think there's no way to avoid the second Sea Giant, and that's just going to happen. Could go for Kobold Librarian into second Despicable Dreadlord, which will clean up a couple of totems here. Just going to go for a life tap, though, instead. Probably life tap into Serenite, I'm guessing. I don't know, just going to maybe drop a couple of taunts instead. Dark Creeper plus a Void Walker. These are both buff minions, so getting more damage. It's another tick off of this Despicable Dreadlord, which is pretty massive. It only clears up one minion this time, but weakens a few more. Now suddenly the Sea Giant can't get through this Tar Creeper without dying. However, the Fire Elemental is going to clean up the Despicable. Sea Giant picks off one more value trade. Still has 2 health, which is a pretty big deal here because another Despicable is about to come down. There is also the option to spell break the 2-2 to go ahead and clean up the 8-2. Unfortunately, in that scenario, the 6-5 sticks around. Can play another Tar Creeper, though. So Spellbreaker plus Tar Creeper is a viable option here. Also, second Despicable and a Kobold is a viable option here. At this point, though, Clinch is definitely fighting back from behind. Gonna have to find a way to stabilize this board. Again, missing that turn 3, you can look back at that turn and you can say that's really when things kind of took off in the wrong direction for Clinch. Just going to go ahead and continue to throw taunts onto the board and hope to continue to soften up the board of Bigwig and hope that at some point the tide will turn in his favor. Another Fire Elemental. A nice pickup there. Can use that. Well, there's a free Sea Giant as well. 0 mana 8/8s are pretty nice. I think it's going to do it for this Sea Giant number 1, but Sea Giant number 2 coming in to pick up right where the first one left off. Alright, Clinch is going to have to find some sort of big turn here. Zoo decks just do not have ways to just kill 8/8s without already having the board. Alright, Despicable coming down. We'll clear up a couple of smaller minions that weren't necessarily too dangerous anymore. Look at this. I mean, this 8/7, the 6/4, the 6/1, these are getting so much value. And there's a Calamos pickup as well. Calamos not super great here as it deals 3 to the board, and right now everything has 4 or 5 health. That being said, it might just be time to throw it down just to doesn't have any more elementals in hand, so maybe just utilize the hero power on maybe the face. Instead goes for a Lich King. Clears the board, sets up lethal for the next turn. Also finds a Death Coil. And yeah, that's pretty much GG. I don't see a way out here. Fungalmancer plus a Life Drinker I think puts him out of range. 16, 22. So yeah, he would be technically out of range of the board. However, the Death Coil plus the Direwolf Alpha means that there's plenty of burn damage in Bigwig's hand. Clinch just going to go ahead and play this out, try to figure out a way out of this mess. But yeah, if he doesn't miss turn 3, things could have gone completely different in this game. It just shows you, you know, in these tempo matchups, one turn like that. I mean, he had Keleseth on 2, just couldn't find even another 1-drop, you know? So, actually just dead to the board here. Bigwig doesn't even need the stuff that's in his hand. And that means Bigwig is going to take a 2-1 lead, and he is now 1 win away from taking home Taco Boomsday. Alright, so even Shaman gone, Odd Paladin gone, so the only deck remaining for Bigwig is the Odd Rogue. This is an Odd Rogue that features Myra's Unstable Element. It also features double Cobalt Scalebane, a single Void Ripper. Most of the rest of the deck is fairly standard. A couple of Fungalmancers, a Leroy, double Vilespine, a couple Cold Bloods, couple South Seas, Hench Clan, SI. Yep, pretty much everything else fairly standard. Against the Odd Rogue, I kind of like playing the Shaman deck if I'm Clinch, and that is what he goes for, yeah. This has the ability to just apply pressure faster than the Odd Rogue can. There's a lot of late game in Clinch's opening hand. Bigwig probably just wants to keep that deckhand. Deckhand is nice to get out early because you can kill a couple totems with it potentially. I think if you're Clinch, you're probably just holding on to this Knife Juggler. But again, this matchup's going to play out in a fairly linear fashion. It's going to be the even Shaman trying to hold the board, Odd Rogue trying to eventually get to a situation where the damage can start getting pushed. The important cards to be able to answer if you are the even Shaman, of course, are the Hench Clan Thug and the Vicious Fledgling. Need to be able to answer those cards. Early Merc Spark, pretty important for that. Could just go for a totem here. Could also go ahead and coin out that Merc Spark. Merc Spark is nice against the dagger on turn 2 because it does not die. Looks like the coin Merc Spark is going to happen. I like this. I think just get ahead and get ahead quickly. This actually sometimes does deter the turn 2 dagger play from Bigwig as well. And if the turn 2 dagger play doesn't happen, well, never mind. The Hench Clan Thug's been picked up. I think we're going to see a swing into this 2-3 as well. Yep. So the swing into 2-3 is good, though, because now that means you can play the Juggalo down. You can play the Juggalo down here. And that means your 2-1 will likely be alive next turn. Looking for an answer to this Hench Clan Thug, though. Answering the Hench Clan is pretty important. If I'm Clinch, I think I just have to keep the pedal to the metal. He does go for the totem instead, though. Finds a healing totem. The problem here is the healing totem does not do very much work against the Hench Clan Thug. Now the 2-2 is just going to die. And this is one of the reasons why sometimes it's better to just play your highest tempo play rather than go for the value. A Menacing Nimbus could be a good pickup here for him. Could also go for a Juggalo plus a totem. Hope to find a Taunt Totem. Taunt Totem or a 1-1, either one, but I like the Nimbus here. Quartz Elemental again. This card is not great. Doesn't even see play in Priest, which is the one deck that could actually, you know, heal it up and stuff. Alright, looks like we might see Firefly plus SI or a Dagger plus Firefly plus Cold Blood. If you really want to get down and dirty here, start applying massive pressure. I actually like that play quite a bit. Oh, okay. Not going to go for that. Going to be a little bit more passive here. Going to play out and try to set up for the Fungalmancer. We're going to have to see the Hex come down here. And the unfortunate thing for Clinch is even after he hexes this Hench Clan Thug, it's going to get reactivated on the very, very next turn by a Fungalmancer. It's going to be Super Frog in just a second. Alright, Cobalt Scalebane instead of the Fungalmancer. I actually like this because it puts a 5-5 onto the board. And you don't necessarily need the immediate impact of the Fungalmancer, so you can go ahead and kind of slow things down just a little bit here. Alright, rough spot now. All of a sudden, if you're clinch, looks to me like you're going to have to probably go for some Juggalo Flame Tongue hero power action. Hope for the best. If you can get this dagger to hit the 0-1, that would be pretty fantastic. Got one more chance at it. Oh, both of them go face. Clinch, welcome to the club, my friend. Face juggles. That's what we do all the time. 2 plosions and face juggles. That's my specialty. Apparently that's Clinch's as well. Oh man, suddenly we're looking at tons and tons of damage here. There's a Celsi Deckhand plus a Cold Blood plus an SI. I mean, that's just 8 damage out of hand. To go along with the 10 damage on the board, 18 potential damage right now. He's going to instead slow things down, though. I like this. You do got to clear out the Flame Tongue Totem first. You can use the dagger to kill off the 2-2. You're going to want to remember to attack with the 2-1 first. Oh, wow. Interesting. Okay. I guess, yeah, if you were going to swing at the 1-1 and the 2-1, and the 2-2 anyway, I think I was just going to leave the 1-1 up, but no, this makes sense. Alright, this Corpse Taker is going to have to bring it all back here. But that is a 9-4 Firefly. That is a super Firefly. The Alakir in the hand means this will not get Wind Fury. Not like the Wind Fury is going to matter. That thing is going to die in a moment. Lots and lots of options here. He's trying to figure out if there's a lethal. Let's see. If you drop a 1-drop, you SI7 down the shield here. Use the 3-4 to get through. He heals up to 20. Then you have 9, 14,
This guy's
16, 18. So you also have to use 2 of that damage on that. So I think he is still a little bit short, right? Because that's 14, 18. Yeah, it's 2 damage off. No! Wait, the dagger hasn't swung yet. That's lethal. I forgot the dagger had not swung yet. And that's GG, and Bigwig takes it. Winning 3 games to 1. He finds the lethal. That's why he's in the finals, and I'm sitting here casting. Congratulations. Congratulations, indeed, to Bigwig. Taking home Taco Boomsday. Fantastic job from him. Just you know, a really strong, really strong draw there in game number 3, and game number 4 able to find another really strong draw with the Odd Rogue, and just burst the hell out of the even shaman there for Clinch. So Clinch makes it all the way to the finals. Congratulations to him. He will take home some packs though. Again, all of our top 4 are going to be able to take home some packs. So Liga, Clinch, and Gertab will all get some packs. Bigwig will also get packs. And we'll get recognition on the very next Angry Chicken podcast for winning Taco Boomsday. Fantastic job from him today. Let's see. Pretty much went 3-1 in every single one of his matches. 3-0 in his first match. 3-1 from then on. So only lost 4 games the entire tournament. Fantastic job. Great lineup there from Bigwig. Proving why, you know, in the current meta, it's all about tempo and aggression. And we will say goodbye to Boomsday with that one, and let's see what Rastakan's Brawl has to bring as far as changing how this game is played. Because right now, tempo, aggression, they are king. It's very clear. We didn't see a lot of, you know, Shutterwalk, Shaman, things like that as far as the top 4 were concerned. I know some people did bring it earlier in the tournament, so I want to take a look at the stats for the entire tournament here real quick. Looks like the most popular classes were Warlock, Paladin, and Shaman. Rogue, actually, with the highest win rate as far as the classes that were brought, with a 68% win rate in 22 games. Hunter following that up with a 57% win rate in 23. And Paladin, 53% win rate out of 34 games. Let's see. Warrior, 0% win rate in 1 game. So one player brought Warrior and did not win with it. Didn't see a lot of Mage or Priest either in this tournament. But you know, I think that's to be expected right now. These are not the highest tempo classes in the game, so they were not very popular. But thank you to everybody who came out and played. Thank you everybody who is watching currently. I am on a 5-minute delay, so if I haven't been responding to your questions and everything, that is why. So appreciate you guys joining me though for this. The VOD will go up on our YouTube channel over at AMove TV, so you can check that out, youtube.com/AMoveTV, so you can find this. And yeah, I look forward to the next taco. It'll be probably a month or two into Rastakon's Brawl. We're gonna kind of let the meta settle just a little bit, and then decide whether we want to do it before or after potential nerfs, because we don't know what it's going to look like just yet. So once again, though, congratulations to our entire top 4, and of course congratulations to Big Wig for winning the tournament. I'm going to go ahead and give out the remaining packs to 2 of our participants who did not make the finals. So let's see here. Let me look at my handy dandy sheet here. All right. Okay, so the first person to take home the packs just for pure participation is... Gotta find him here. Mockthal, congratulations. Let me make a note of that here. And pick one more winner. Let's see. Second winner is some 70s guy. Congratulations. So you guys will get a friend request from Garrett at some point, and then he will send you those packs. So again, thank you guys for participating. Again, for people who don't think they can win this tournament, I encourage you still come out and participate, because just for coming out and playing, you get a chance at winning some packs. It's always a pretty decent chance too. There's not that many people who play in this thing, so you know, I definitely recommend get in there, pick 4 decks, and just go. Even if you just got some meme decks and you just want to get in there and just splash around a little bit and have some fun. So, all right, that's gonna do it. I'm going to turn this stream off. For anybody who's in the channel right now, I will come back in a little while and just stream without a delay on my own channel, or on my own account, playing some Hearthstone. So I will be back. Just got to go out, get some dinner, start some laundry, because I'm on a trip to San Francisco here pretty soon. So I gotta clean up. I gotta clean all my clothes before I get them soaked in smoke and soot in San Francisco here pretty soon, within the next few days. So yeah, stick around, and I'll be back in just a moment. I'm gonna be playing some fun decks. I also have a new wild deck that I really want to try out, so it should be a lot of fun. Again, for Garrett and Jocelyn, my co-hosts on the Angry Chicken, this has been Taco Boomsday. Thanks again, everybody, for watching, and I'll see you guys soon.